Phantom Nightmare is the booster set that will give you nightmares because of the crazy, powerful, game-changing cards like Promethean Princess, Snake Eyes Populars, the retrained YGO cards, the brand new TCG exclusive Ashen archetype, Voiceless Voice, a very powerful ritual-based control strategy, and of course amazing archetype support cards like Majespecter, Raid Raptor. The only and first rank 13 in the game set truly will be a nightmare for the format, and you've just seen the openings from content creators. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and find out what cards you need to get, cards you probably never heard of but are now interested in, and maybe cards you've seen in openings which you'd like to hear more about. This video has it all, so let's not waste any time. We're gonna start off strong with Promethean Princess, which is confirmed an ultra rare, which I think many players are actually excited about. Using 2+ effect monsters, you can summon this monster, bring back a 5/1 star, and you are locked into fires, but you can go into powerful monsters like the Ambler Whale, which is very popular at the moment. I hope he gets a reprint in the next OTS, like PHNI Early, as well as the Salamangre Phoenix monster released in Soul Burning Volcano. So this card is going to make waves. Rescue strategies will love this, Fire King strategies will love this, and of course Infernoble, you're going to guarantee you can disrupt the opponent's plays. If the opponent is trying to climb into, for example, an Access Code Talker, you're going to be able to blow that monster up and destroy a monster on your field. And as a side note, of course, you're watching it on this channel, we love Dracoslayer here, and this card can bring back Ignista, which I'm super excited about. And as an ultra rare, that QCR will look pretty nice. We have to cover the TCG exclusive archetype called Ashen, and the entire strategy is based around the field spell as well as getting Vados on the field. If the opponent wants to get rid of things and link climb, they face all their monsters being destroyed by card effect thanks to Vados, which your guys can trigger as well with the consistency of the level 4 Pyro monster, which can be searched with Bonfire. A lot of things are going right already for the Ashen archetype. A great field spell, very unique playstyle, a good boss monster, and selection of monsters that are all special summonable, and of course some great recursion with the field spell, looking for more field spells. So I think this is an archetype everyone should be picking up. As far as TCG Wave 1 support goes, this one feels pretty strong. If the field spell is on the field, all the boss monsters get to special summon and you can OTK. If you're going to be attending your sneak peek, I think these cards will hopefully be easy to get, and it does seem like Vados maybe a 1 of or a 2 of, which is of course the confirmed secret rare. Let's talk about Snake Eyes Populars, the card that has been dominating the OCG at the moment. This is a level 1 fire pyro monster, and when it's added to the hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it. When it's normal express summon, you can add a Snake Eye spell trap from your deck to your hand. Snake Eye is officially a pure deck now because of this card. Of course, the Abelster is the card that finds your Sinful Spoils cards, but so does Populars, and also when it goes to the grave, it will go to the ST zone, and that means you can now send this with original and not really feel the drawback of original. I can definitely expect the Snake Eye pure deck to take control of the meta, as well as of course Fire King, which everyone is already predicting to be the best deck in the game. This will also of course affect Rescue Ace, it just adding to the consistency. It's almost as if Airlift for the 2/1 doesn't even matter because of Populars. And so with that being said, get ready for your wallets. This is a 1 or a 2 of future Snake Eye Diabell Star Sinful Spell support is going to need this card. So if you plan to play those cards in the future, if you like the idea of the archetype and in Legacy of Destruction, Populars has grown up to be an actual boss monster, so definitely expect more support coming. Speaking of Snake Eyes and the storyline, Goblin Biker is the new archetype releasing. It's a rank 3, rank 6 Fiend spam exceed deck, which is actually a hard counter to Purely, and coincidentally Purely is not to be seen anywhere in the OCG. I don't know if it's directly because of this, but you can essentially detach things from any exceed on the field and special and gain advantage. Kind of play like Satellar Knights. They all have effects on summon. They can special from grave, they can special from hand, and when they special, they can search for spell and trap. They've ticked every box for a good, powerful archetype. Goblin Biker Grand Entrance, which searches a goblin monster from the deck to the hand, and then you can detach a material from either field and special air level for low goblin, banishing it from grave, detaching a monster on either field, and add a goblin monster from your grave to your hand. So there we go guys, a card that does so much for the deck, does like 3 effects in one, and this card pretty much solidifies the power of this deck. If a material is attached from anywhere, you could target a monster on the field and attach it to this card, which I'm gonna say is one of the best, if not the best, removal in the game after banishing face down. And I don't know if this and the Exceed armor cards work together. There is going to be some big payoff here for sure. Imagine putting a Zeus on top of this. I can see more support for this coming down the line with Beast Warriors as well. If you like your rank 3 style decks, if you miss Satellar Knights, the old school Exceed strategies, this is the modern version of that. and you gotta get these cards now. Yubel being the cover card, let's quickly talk about it. Yubel, the fusion monster, for example, is your super poly target, and the trap card is kind of the ace in the hole for this archetype, as well as the Samsara Lotus Retrain. It can turn a negation into destroying Yubel. When Yubel destroyed, it will do and trigger effects, and I feel like the deck has come full circle, with Eternal Favorite being basically the card you want to have on the field. Is a searchable super poly, and to my knowledge, the Yubel deck and kind of the meta in general is leaning towards another super poly heavy meta because of pyros, fires, the overlap. Mud dragons are going crazy. I can definitely see Yubel being a low-key deck to play. If you're a fan of GX, you might want to pick this up. GX is a really popular anime because of the consistency. Don't overlook these cards. This is the power creep Yubel needed. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. If it's special summon, you can take a spell trap that mentions Yubel, either add it or set it to your field. Now that is quite important, because setting the trap card will allow you to super poly on your turn, giving you that OTK potential. Let's quickly talk about Voiceless Voice. Low and the Skull Guardian monsters come together as a ritual strategy, which is focused on controlling the board with classic Omni Negate setups, as well as a consistent search for things like Soravis, special summoning Soravis with the Sage monster, the Saphira monster, setting up the very easy ritual summons, and that means the deck has a lot of room for non-engine, and in the OCG has confirmed support in Legacy of Destruction. What this means is the deck has a setup to be one of the best decks in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong as well, in the OCG this deck is actually taking over again as a fairly consistent deck that does not even lose to Nibiru. If this card is normal or special summon, you can place a Voiceless Voice, continuous spell trap from your deck face up in your ST zone. And then of course, if a light ritual monster is special to your field while this is in the grave, you can special this. So if you've seen my Voiceless Voice how to play video, I highly recommend you go check that out. You'll get to see why this archetype has so much reputation behind it already without even being released, and it's definitely the archetype I plan to play and compete with. So expect more content on this. It's such a strong and efficient archetype that you can get away with playing basically any ritual monster you've ever wanted to play. I was playing Albazoa, I was ripping cards from the extra deck. Again, with a lot of non-engine, there's a lot of room for creativity. Pisces, Moonlight of the Ghoti, if normal, special summon can add a fish from deck to hand, which is already quite strong. It's a level 6 though, so you know, this may not be an obvious monster to summon, but in the Ghoti strategy, you can freely special summon, and then you can banish a fish from your hand or face up field. If this card is banished, you can banish a fish from your hand, face up field or graveyard, and all I'm reading is set up a million Ghoti effects for the opponent's standby phase. Of course, the boss monster Ghoti card was released in Power of the Elements, has not been reprinted, and I feel like this is a card you may need to pick up. We don't know when the reprints will happen. Let's talk about the other Ghoti monster. If a monster is special to your opponent's field, target one of them and your banished level 6 or lower fish monsters, banish the opponent's target and discard, special summon the target you banished. Powerful setup for Ghoti synchros, but let's not forget you've also banished an opponent's card. So this kind of feels like an SP Little Knight. Now this is not a tuner, but to my knowledge we didn't have a Ghoti monster with a low level like this that was not a tuner, with the White Aura Whale support as well. These things are kind of going to be adding together for a really powerful archetype. And let's not forget, I talk about in every single Manadon video when I discuss extra decks, Gimme Ice Adrian is one of the best synchro monsters for the format. In my opinion, it's the solution to the format, protecting things from destruction or even being banished. So there we go, maybe something Ghoti can play to help beat the Viking deck. If you like Ghoti, if you've ever thought about playing Ghoti, I think these are cards you need to get. Majespecter looks quite cool because of the new Pendulum monster. Now Babunku actually turns into a 1 card beyond the Pendulum. Card kind of enables, you know, Dracoslayer to be another powerful meta deck. So for my Dracoslayer fans, if you're watching this video, stick around. I will be doing an updated version with these new cards with Promethean Princess. Majespecter Draco being a generic rank 4 Pendulum monster, which you summon from the face down extra deck Pendulum Evolution. They start being played, which gives us a second Pendulum summon. Now this is quite a big deal because that card can also search for the Astrograph Sorcerer. It can search for Supreme King Gate Magician. We even got a collector's rare Babunku from the recent Maze of Millennia. Konami definitely thinks Pendulums and Majespecter is going to be something up and coming. Apparently the new Aromage cards mean plants are back. Maybe that's why Dryas and the Healer were limited. The new effect monster Aromalith Rosalina can special an Aromage from the deck. And this just means you can of course build up into that crazy fusion monster or that link monster, which by the way on special summon can add an aroma card from deck to hand, which is very strong by itself. If you gain life points, which a whole deck is based around, you can special up to 3 aroma monsters from your hand. And this card has basically stolen the identity of Pendulum and put it into one link monster, and then you can tribute most of these points to target a card on the field, banish it, and then gain 1000 life points. Again, maybe Dryas and Healer were limited because of these cards. Did you know Earthbounds have more support in this set? Earthbound Fusion, which is a quick play spell but only works if you have a field spell on the field. This kind of further pushes the Earthbound strategy, and I think is well timed from the Maze of Millennia cards. Being a quick play, this is your Guardian Chimera setup, which I believe most fusion decks, see as a final boss monster, the access code if you will. So Berserk Archfiend, I want to shout this card out. This is kind of going to be the Sharvara Replacement. You can target 2 face-up monsters you control, including a fiend, special this card, and if you do, destroy those monsters, resolving this as much as possible. The face-up fiend monster that you targeted, which is up to 2, and if they somehow leave the field, this is a free special summon as a level 6 fiend to summon Caesar, to also set up the Soul Lord of Yama. Even Soul Hunter was getting really expensive, which is a random vanilla fusion monster. Unchained players, if you're watching this, let me know what you think about this card. Will you actually be running this? It's not a quick effect, so you can't dodge things like Impel or Vela, but it actually might do the job. Let's talk about a card that may be seen play in Labyrinth, maybe a one-off with Thrust Post Siding. Rumble Twofold is basically the hardest counter you can ever see for a archetype. Declare a monster card name, neither player can special summon that monster with this original name except from the graveyard. So if you really hate a specific monster like Access Code Talker, this may be the perfect card that Labyrinth could play to counter pretty much anything in the game. It's kind of a similar style card to Winter Cherries, which aimed at stopping boss monsters from the extra deck, but this goes one step further and stops anything completely in the game. It being a normal trap as well, transaction can copy this, you can banish it and then declare a monster card name. Neither player can activate the effects of monsters with the original name. So it's 2 effects tied into one. It's not the sequel we needed for the Albaz and Branded lore, but this is the closest thing we're going to get for now. Let me know what you feel about this trap card in the comments down below. So there we go guys, that has been my Phantom Nightmare recap for the whole entire set. You've just seen your favorite content creators open booster boxes, but I want to go one step further and show you guys what you can expect, what cards you need to get, what cards you maybe did not expect to hear about but now want to pick up, what meta cards are going to have an impact and how. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.